James Franklin hired at Virginia Tech. What does this mean for Penn State? We'll get into it.
You are listening to the Mark Lesko Podcast, a podcast by diehard fans for fans. Mark covers all things Penn State football and the Pittsburgh Steelers, as well as anything related to the sports and fitness world. Tune in weekly to listen to a couple of dedicated fans talk about these topics without filters. Thank you for listening to the Mark Lesko Podcast.
All right, everybody. Welcome back into another episode of the Mark Lesko Podcast. Just me tonight, talking the news about James Franklin and my thoughts on it, what I think this means for him, for Penn State. The fact that he's hired at a different school mainly doesn't really matter to us or affect us in many ways, but it could for several reasons, and we'll get into that. But we kind of have to see how it plays out all around. The fact that we have Terry Smith is good for us. But he apparently he's being hired at Virginia Tech, so that's predictable. I think everyone thought that would happen. I know I did. We were saying that from pretty much day one that he's probably going to Virginia Tech, and this makes sense for many reasons. And I'm going to pull up their schedule for next year. It's absolutely atrocious. It'll fit him well, for sure. But I'll pull it up. So, first of all, he has... if it'll come up. Not Cologne. First of all, he has, let me try to adjust this. All right. He has VMI Cadets at home, Old Dominion, his old assistant coach, Ricky Ronnie, at Maryland, James Madison, Virginia Cavaliers, at BC, at California, at Clemson, at Miami, Georgia Tech, NC State, and Pitt. So of that whole schedule, I mean, there's a couple sleepers like Virginia, maybe Maryland. I don't know. He always did good against them. BC, maybe Cal, maybe NC State. But there's like three teams on there that you could point at and say they're going to lose. They could lose this game. So that's just a look at the schedule right there. Overall, for this, so glad James Franklin's gone. Did the buyout drop to $9 million? So, first of all, the fact that he's hired there for him that's the best fit for him. It's a pretty big school. It's a pretty big program, and he's going to fit into the ACC because he was not a Big Ten coach. He's not an SEC coach. I think he fits well into the ACC. For the schedule, for the expectations, for probably the support, I think that's the best fit for him. I think they'll kind of let him do whatever. But there's, again, like there's several factors with this. The money situation, recruiting, how that affects us, the schedule in the ACC. The fact that he's going here is, again, I don't know where else he would go. And we've been saying it that they'll probably put a statue of him up there by the time he's gone, because being at that school, he's not really playing that many hard opponents ever. And the expectation is 8-9 win season. I mean, you're good. So he could literally lose to Clemson, Miami, and Pitt, and people would be like, that's awesome. They're going to go to a bowl, may have a shot at making the playoff. I mean, the expectations there are way lower than they are here at Penn State. And like he did here, never beat the teams that were better than him. If he runs into like a good Clemson team, good Miami team, especially at Clemson, at Miami, back to back, I mean, that's just like Ohio State, Michigan, Iowa, Ohio State, Michigan, like we always had those hard games. So there's like that stretch in the season that we would hit and we would lose at least one or two every year. It was predictable. It was like clockwork. So if you're looking at like a good Clemson team, Miami team, they're going to lose. And again, Virginia Tech fans, they go 10-2 every year. They're going to be happy. So he I think I don't think any school should hire him. He's definitely not going to be hired as a coordinator because he's terrible. He would be a terrible offensive coordinator. The only thing he can really do is be a head coach. And the only thing he can really do is be a head coach at a school like Virginia Tech. Because you're not going to hire him as an offensive coordinator. His offenses were never all that good. He didn't develop quarterbacks. I mean, what's going to happen? He's going to go there. His recruiting pitch is going to be, I'm putting guys in the NFL. You have a shot to make the playoff, go to a national title, just like it was at Penn State, except it's way lower there. His pitch is going to be, you're going to come in here, we're going to have a shot at making it deep in the playoff, and I'm going to put you in the NFL. I mean, his NFL resume is pretty impressive. But he's not going to develop any quarterbacks. If you're a good player, you might get a little better. Unless you come in with the tools, you're really not going to be developed that well. So it's going to be the same thing there. It's going to be the same exact thing there. And you could say, okay, he's going to beat Miami, Clemson, Pitt. He could go undefeated every year. Who's to say that just because it's Virginia Tech, which again, lower tier school compared to Penn State, no offense, but it is. Who's to say that at a school like that, it's not going to be the same thing? He's going to lose to Clemson every year. He's going to lose to Miami every year. He could lose to Pitt every year. I mean, you just don't know. I mean, honestly, you just don't know. It could be the same thing again there. So Virginia Tech, for where their program is, it's a good hire. But Virginia Tech, I hope you know what you're getting yourself into, because he did not do NIL here. His philosophy was horrendous. Never beat big teams. Never. Got lucky once. And he didn't develop quarterbacks. He never picks the right quarterback. A running quarterback is the best quarterback for him, and he wouldn't do it consistently. I don't know why. And Will Levis, Bo Prabiola, they left. They would have fit way better than a pocket guy like Sean Clifford or Drew Aller. I mean, Gronkmeyer is mobile compared to Drew Aller. So, it just never fit. It just never really fit. I mean, a guy like Beckham Kritza well, no, I don't know if he'll ever see the field for us, but good arm, pretty mobile. I mean, a guy like that, but you're going to be, if you're happy with winning the games you're supposed to and beating up on the lower tier teams on your schedule and having 2 to 3 losses a year, then if that's what you want, that's what you're going to get. But if you're getting mad because you're not beating Clemson and you're not beating Miami and you're barely eking into the playoffs or you never make it, like, you have to understand that that's what's going to happen. Like, you have to understand that as a Virginia Tech fan. You can't be upset. There's a lot of Virginia Tech fans that wanted him. You can't be upset when you're losing to the good teams and you're never making it past that hump. You're going to hit your ceiling, and you're never going to go past that. So it makes sense for him to go there, but at the same time, it's like Virginia Tech. I hope you know, like, do you know what you're getting? Do you know what you're getting? Are you trying to make your program more attractive for someone else to come into? Maybe. I don't know, but that's what you're going to get. It's not going to change. And then if you fire him, he's going to go on game day 6 days later and trash you like he did with us. So good luck. That's all I have to say. Good luck. It's going to be the same thing, maybe a little better, but it could be the exact same, just Virginia Tech. So good luck. The money side of things. So I guess we're paying, drops to $9 million. We're not paying much compared to what we would have because he's hired here, which is good for us. So drop out to $9 million. I guess that means we're paying $9 million and that's it. I don't know the exact details of that. I don't think it's even official that he was hired, but yeah, that's what I've heard, and that we're not paying as much, which is awesome. That they did it the right way by letting him go, saying you need to get another job, or we're not giving you your money. They avoided a lawsuit like LSU has kind of going on right now with Kelly. So James Frank will do good in the ACC. VTech fans think they're lucky. Yeah, they are lucky in a way, but again, you think he was arrogant here? Wait till he gets that 10-11 win seasons. Those 10-11 win seasons in the ACC, he's going to be even more arrogant. He is going to think that he is the greatest thing since sliced bread. So, but the money side, because of this hire, it does less damage to us, which that does affect us in a very positive way. So I'm happy about that. Whatever they pay him, it's going to be too much, but it'll help us. So, and Virginia Tech, what they're going to have to do is again, his NIL strategy was horrendous. He didn't do it. I mean, he didn't pay high school players. He wanted to pay guys more than a high school kid coming in who's been there 3-4 years, like a Don DeLuca, Liam Clifford, who, like, they aren't that good, but he wants to be loyal to them. And he didn't really play young guys, especially this year. He didn't play young guys. So, again, we will see how that plays out. But Virginia Tech, again, you have to understand that whatever you're paying him, what it's going to come with. It's going to come with, he's probably not going to embrace NIL. He's going to be loyal to the older guys, no matter whether they deserve it or not, in terms of performance on the field. And the portal, he might get guys to come down there. I don't know. I'm sure he will. I'm sure he'll do pretty good in recruiting. But you're really not going to get many portal guys. You're not going to get much NIL, big-time NIL high school kids. If he keeps doing what he did, I don't know why he would change it. And if it's just, I hope he takes his whole NIL staff with him, because they were horrendous for us. So please leave. And the resources, the support that he will get at Virginia Tech, I don't know. I don't know what he's going to get. I don't know what he's going to get. It probably won't. It's not going to be as much as Penn State. Penn State gave him everything. They gave him. He had $1 billion of support in his whole time here. He always talked about alignment. Okay, well, what happens when he goes to Virginia Tech and there's not the right alignment? He's not going to blame himself. He's going to blame everybody else. So he's not going to take any responsibility for it. So if you do support him monetarily, then you better hope that he's doing the right thing with it. And I don't think he will. So, also, with that, good luck. So, recruiting, not only players, but coaches. People talk about the DMV area, how he was really good in the Virginia side of things. Recruiting. He was good at recruiting in Virginia. Poindexter, I hope he stays at Penn State, but he's a Virginia guy. One of the best safeties coach in the country. Safeties coaches in the country. I don't know how it's going to work. He's 100% going to have his sights set on us. He's going to try to get back at us every which way. Even though it was deserving that he was fired, he's still going to have his sights set on us. I mean, he trashed his 12-year coaching career school 6 days after he was let go and acted like he had no idea what happened. Like he was so shocked. I'll get to your comments, guys, but he's going to go after the same guys that we're going after. And again, his pitch is going to be, you're going to come in, you're probably going to be a star on this team. I'm going to get you into the NFL, and we might have a shot. He's going to say we're going to win a national title. That's never going to happen there because he has to play good teams. Unless they get really hot, that's never going to happen with his easy schedule year in and year out. Hokey chokey. Yes, it will. So he's going to go after those guys and then our coaches and our current roster. I hope guys at Penn State, and who knows? I think a lot of these guys have been brainwashed by him, but Tony Rojas, does he stay at Penn State and not go with Franklin? I hope Kotelnicki goes with Franklin. I did hear that Kotelnicki will go with Franklin. Thank you, God. Please go and never come back, both of you. Could he go after Ty Howe? Terry Smith, Penn Stater, I think he stays. He had a large slice of the recruiting at Penn State. So does Ty Howe. Great tight end room. Obviously, it's falling apart right now, but does he try to get some of our current guys? Even A.J. Harris, who can come back. Does he take Aller with him? Because according to Landon Tangwall, that is kind of possible that he could come back to college. So does he take him? If so, Kotelnicki, Franklin, and Aller, please go to Virginia Tech. It's going to be entertaining as hell. But as you know, does he go after our guys? Does he go after our coaches? Does he go after our recruits? He 100% is going to go after our recruits. I don't think many of the recruits that were going to Penn State would come down to Virginia Tech with him, but he's going to go after the same people we are. He is going to have his sights set on us. But I will say this, regardless of what happens, as Penn State fans, all you can do is sit back and laugh because you know what's going to happen. You know it's going to be the same or worse, just in an ACC Virginia Tech setting. So just enjoy it, guys. Enjoy it. It's going to be entertaining. I'm probably going to be watching every one of Virginia Tech's games next year. It's going to be so entertaining, being like, thank you, God. He's your problem now and not ours. It's going to be entertaining. It's going to be entertaining. Virginia Tech just got another viewer in me. I'm going to be watching every one of their games because it's going to be just so entertaining watching whatever happens there and thanking the Lord every day that it's not us anymore. So couple things that would disappoint me if, and again, he hired a lot of lettermen at Penn State. If a Poindexter left or a Ty Howell left, or I think we should keep Jim Knowles for the time being, but Ty Howell, Poindexter, Dan Connor, Jordan Lucas, like if those guys left, and especially Terry Smith, that would be heartbreaking. I don't think he'll do that, but because I think he'll be on our staff next year. But because we have Terry Smith, I think he's going to he's the glue that's holding this team together. He's going to keep a lot of the roster, the ones that deserve to stay on the roster. You know, our younger guys, Chaz Coleman, does he leave? Does Kobe Howard leave? I mean, they should. You know, I would support them if they did. But, yeah, that's the thing about the series burnout. And I'll answer your comments, guys. But, yeah, we did miss out on that. That would have been hilarious. I think Terry Smith keeps this roster together, keeps most of these coaches together, and then has a foundation set for the next guy that comes in, whoever it may be. Terry Smith, old school, hard-nosed coach. If a Drinkowitz came in, I don't know exactly how that would mesh, but I would hope like a Drinkowitz would totally embrace and mesh with the current situation and just make it better. Implement his stuff, keep some of the same stuff that we have now, and just run with it. So, who does he try to get? His sights will be set on us, beating us in every possible way. And it's mainly going to be Pat Kraft that he's trying to hurt in a way, for sure, because he fired him. And I said it years ago, Pat Kraft is not going to put up with Franklin's BS, and he didn't. He let him go. So it's going to be it's going to be entertaining, guys. We just got to like sit back and watch it. It's going to be entertaining watching him down there. And when he loses his first big game he started losing the games you're not supposed to lose with us. So maybe he continues that there. But once he starts losing to some good teams like Clemson, they lose by 3. I mean, it's just going to be hilarious because James Franklin quit on this team, trashed us on game day 6 days later. I will sleep well knowing that guy is getting the karma that he has coming to him. It will catch up to him. It will catch up to him. As a coach, he was very arrogant. Not a lot of money was donated. He was not liked. He was liked by his players, I guess. But it will be nice knowing and seeing that the karma that he deserves will be getting him. And I don't think there's any way that he does any better there. If he couldn't get it done here, Franklin, you're not going to get it done anywhere. So the recruiting side will be interesting to watch. And then the ACC schedule, again, the 3 teams mainly that stick out to me are Miami, Clemson, and then Pitt. Does he lose to those teams? Probably, especially Dabo Swinney if he's still there. He's a real coach. Probably loses to him. Mario Cristobal probably loses to him every year. Pitt, Pat Narduzzi. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe he loses to Pitt consistently. But the ACC schedule and his schedule next year is so easy that it's probably going to be a 9-3, 10-2 season as long as he gets his roster together, which I don't know what it will be. But you know he's not going to make any adjustments. He's going to continue to do the same thing, whether they're winning or losing. And he's going to walk around with his nose up in the air just like he did here. So we'll see. We'll see if it continues where he loses to the 2 best teams every year, which I think that is absolutely going to happen. unless Clemson has a major drop-off, unless Miami has a major drop-off, it's going to be the same song and dance every year. He's going to lose to Clemson, probably lose to Miami, might beat one of them. Miami, for me, would probably be the Michigan of the Big Ten in terms of our schedule, where sometimes you beat them, but most of the time you don't. And then Clemson, as long as Dabo Swinney's there, he keeps they get better. They're having some down years for sure, but if they get better and they get back to the Clemson they were, he doesn't have a shot. There's no way on God's green earth he's beating Clemson ever. So the schedule is easier. The expectations are way lower. The expectations and the way he'll be treated will just be so much different because they're going to be happy with total mediocrity. They're going to be happy with it. And, you know, I don't really like to say that, but he's a mediocre coach, and he's going to have mediocre results, and you're never going to break over that hump. You might get lucky and maybe make a little run in the playoff, but no. You think he lost to Ohio State every year? Wait till he runs into Dabo Swinney's Clemson team. They don't have a shot. Are you kidding me? I don't think he'll ever beat him once. He beat Ohio State once. I don't think he'll ever beat Clemson once. So Maryland will be an instant rivalry because him and Loxley absolutely, yeah. With VT getting Franklin, maybe PSU will look at Chesney better than Drink in long run. Yeah, man, I would not mind a small school coach coming in here. I would not at all. Virginia Tech must have been desperate to pay that much for a guy. Because who was there before him? Signetti. Virginia Tech must have been desperate to pay that much for a guy who has no leverage because SEC did not want him. What's his contract? I didn't even see because I don't really care. I know it's going to be enough that we won't be paying much. The irony of Narduzzi wanted to play Franklin every year, and he got it now in the choke conference of Franklin at VT, Clemson, FSU, Miami. Yeah, he's cooked, bro. He is cooked. Saw Franklin's new moniker. Yeah. Also, mediocre Franklin asked for pay raises at absolutely ridiculous times. I guarantee you he goes 9-3 in second season. Oh, dude, he's gonna be one of the. He's gonna say, "Give me $20 million a year." Look at what I'm doing here. I just got here. 2 reasons not to transfer if you are a Penn Stater to VTech. More NIL here, more TV time, more scouts. Absolutely. We missed a possible Franklin. Yes, we did. If we want to do a reset from Franklin, that means the next coach needs to be allowed to pick and choose his personnel, unfortunately. Yeah. I just hope it makes sense. That's all. Somewhat mobile guy with an arm that can read a defense, competent QB. Question: Notre Dame hosts Virginia Tech in 2027. What do you want to see when? I know you not. Notre Dame. Honestly, I'd be like, let's go Notre Dame. Dude, it's not that I dislike Notre Dame. I dislike a lot of their fans, like Ohio State. I respect the heck out of Ohio State. I hate them, but I respect them. Notre Dame, I have a lot of respect for their history. That's a blue blood program. My only gripe with them is when they go and they play in a national title game, like in Alabama or who did they play? Alabama played Ohio State. I mean, they would lose. I mean, and it was under Brian Kelly, but they would always lose. And it's like if you guys had a tougher schedule year in, year out, and maybe you weren't independent, you might have a better shot at winning it all. To me, that's just like constructive criticism to Notre Dame, but then they get mad at me. And it's like, okay, well, just keep doing what you're doing then. But yeah, I would want Notre Dame to win. Yes, 100%. 100%. I'm not rooting for James Franklin unless it really benefits us in some way, some situation. I would never cheer for him. Drew Aller will apply for a 5th year of eligibility and follow Franklin VT. I hope he does. That would be hilarious. You're forgetting Florida State. Yes, I was. They're going to be good once they. Yeah, that's another one. So now he's got 3 teams he can lose to instead of 2. One fatal issue with VT is they do not have the purse size of FSU. No, they don't. Exactly. I don't know the numbers money-wise, but I do know we save money in Indian Nation by getting him fired. We are. Yeah, Kevin, you're right. So, again, guys, that's my thoughts. Thank you for the comments. Please like, share, subscribe, hit the post notifications. You can support us monetarily also if you want to. The reason to go down to VT at least a point. Because he's closest. Bucky's. Yeah, that's true. That's a great point, Burnout. There are Bucky's down there. Yes. Yeah. That's a great point. I want to get started. Let's get a coach already. Yeah, so 2 forms of entertainment right now, guys. Watching what happens with VT. And if any coach or player is smart, they don't go down there with them. But some of them are brainwashed, unfortunately. And I think a lot of people lost a lot of respect for him because he quit on his team. I mean, I don't know how, as a coach under him or a player, you can't see that and be like, that is one of the most cowardly things I've ever seen, which is why I've been saying for 10 years, fire Franklin. But they didn't listen to me. So I don't know how you can see that and then be like, yeah, let's go play for him. Depending on who we get, like, let's say we get Drink. He's going to blow Franklin out of the water with recruiting, I think. With the resources he would have at Penn State. You kidding me? Franklin's going to get some guys, but he's got to have a quarterback that is Peyton Manning-esque and doesn't listen to Franklin. That's what he'll have to get at quarterback because he's not going to develop a guy. He's not going to get the right guy. He's not going to get the right system. It's just not going to work. It's just not going to work. So, again, entertainment of watching who we get and the entertainment. This offseason is going to be a freaking absolute cinema this offseason. Who does Virginia Tech take and get? How does it work out with him in the offseason? Who stays? Who do we get? I mean, it's going to be absolute cinema this offseason. This will be one of the most entertaining off seasons ever. And we had a whole, we had such a disappointing season. But it's going to be entertaining. So get your popcorn ready, as Terrell Owens would say. Notice how Franklin never said a farewell message, even on Twitter after he was let go. Says a lot about the ego. Man. Again, I was around him. All right, I'm going to tell you a quick story. So, again, I went to the Penn State football camp a couple years ago because my cousin was there who was in high school. This is how it went, okay? First of all, it's at Haluba. It's out in the turf. And I already thought this guy was arrogant, but this just reinforced it. I was there. Anybody could walk in. I mean, anybody could have just walked in. I could have gone out and ran a 40 next to my cousin if I wanted to. Like, anybody just walked in. I'm like, this is, like, extremely dangerous. Anybody could walk in here. This is poorly run. Okay, so we were on the side by Haluba. We were waiting. Half of it was in Haluba. Half of it was on the field outside. I'm standing there. I see Tyler Donahue. I was talking to him a little bit. I see Coach Troutwine. Say hi to him. Said hi to Terry Smith. Said hi to Ty Howe. They were all out there walking around. So the first thing that happens is there was bleachers. So, like, if Haluba was off to our left, and then we were on the turf field outside, and right in front of the weight room, there was bleachers facing the field. So we were over by Haluba, and he said, everyone come over here, all the parents come over here, we're going to talk to you. And he said this probably 10 times. He said, come over here and listen to me. If you want to watch your kid run a slow 40, stay over there. But you should come over here and listen to me and what we have to say. If you want to watch your kid run a slow 40, stay over there. But if you want to come over here, you need to listen to what I'm saying. And I'm like, dude, aren't you trying to recruit people from this thing? First of all, okay. And it costs money to go there too. So we're standing there. He's answering questions, and this guy was swearing left and right. He was swearing left and right. And there's mothers sitting in front of him. There's kids. And I'm like, dude, why are you swearing so much? But he was swearing a lot. And I'm standing there. I got my straw golf hat on, got my sunglasses on. I'm standing there. I'm like, and he can't see my eyes or anything. I'm like, dude, what? Why are you? I'm sitting there just looking at him like in shock. I'm like, man, you're swearing a lot for being a head coach, and they got all these mothers, parents, kids. I'm like, you're swearing a lot. And he's got this guy behind him. I don't know who it was, but he kept pacing back and forth. He was on the phone. He was like, I got this guy back here. He's working 24/7. And then he said, that's the best weight room in the country. And it was right after they renovated it. And I'm standing there, the weight room's behind me, and he goes, that's the best weight room in the country. And I'm like, oh, you talk about that? I'm like, that is not the best weight room in the country, man. You ever been to Alabama? You ever been to Columbus? You ever been to Georgia? I mean, they got an amusement park for a gym between the gym itself, the second layer, the cardio equipment, big window goes right out into the field. Like, dude, this is like a high school gym. No offense to the weight room there. It is very nice. He's like, that's the best weight room in the country. I'm like, dude, are you serious right now? But anyway, I'll try to make it quick. But I go over to the weight room. And again, it was a safety thing. You could just walk right onto the field. I walk right into the weight room. I just open the door, walk in. I go in there. I'm looking around. It's pretty nice. That's the first time I saw it in person because it was just built fairly recently. His office upstairs wasn't done, stuff like that. But, and it was Dante Cephas, Malik, what was that one kid? The one kid that transferred from Florida State. It was Dante, Malik was there. I think it was Bo. They were on the turf. There's like this little turf next to the weight room, and they're sitting there throwing the ball. I mean, I just walk right in, and I'm standing right next to him. You know, and I'm looking at the weight room. They're probably wondering why I was in there, but I was like, I need to check this out. And then, again, like the story I told before, where I was trying to ask him a question. He said, anybody ask me any questions, you know, I'll be happy to answer them. I was standing like 5 feet in front of him. I had my hand up for like 5 minutes, and he never picked me. I was right in front of him. And then a lady in front of me, he picked her, the lady right in front of me. Because I think he recognized me, honestly. Like I said, like I think he recognized me, and he did not like the stuff I said about him on this podcast, which good. But and then I was trying to talk to him again, wave at him, he wouldn't come over, and because I had no idea that he would even know who I am. But again, like he was like going out of his way to, it seemed, to like not talk to me. I don't know. But anyway, and then we were in Haluba, and he's just walking around Haluba. Like, you know, Andy Elliott, the like scammer fitness guy. He kind of reminded me of him. Like, he was just walking around just it was like he was like trying to look like he was busy. I mean, it was just strange. Like he's just in there walking around like I'm James Franklin, look at me. But I thought as a fan, well, there's nothing I can do, so I'm just going to cheer for these guys and this team. But that Franklin guy, he's something else. So again, as Penn State fans, we're very lucky that he's gone. We are. I mean, he was just an arrogant guy. I mean, to be a head coach walking around at a camp, it's not like you're coaching. You know, I understand dropping the F-bomb on the sideline when something's going bad. Like, I get it. Terry was. O'Brien did. Joe swore sometimes. But when you're at a camp and you got kids and moms and stuff, they're sitting there waiting to ask you questions, and you're swearing left and right. It's like, dude, why are you doing that? Honestly, like, why? But I don't know. Maybe I'm overthinking it, but I want to hit a home run higher, and Pat Kraft, I'm sure, is working on right now. Yeah, they are. Kraft has something else under his sleeve. I agree, and I'm thinking Kalen DeBoer because Kalen DeBoer, yeah, it's going to be interesting. But he said a home run higher. Terry Smith needs to be retained on the staff, though. I agree. Pat Kraft is not a dumb man. He had fired Franklin. Yep. Based on the fact that a majority of our roster stayed intact. Okay, so you don't think a lot of guys will leave? You know, we lost a lot of important guys on that staff. On that team, we lost Justin Brown, we lost Silas Red, we lost Kari Fort. Just to name a few. Rob Bolden transferred. We lost some key guys, but we kept guys like Michael Motti, Jordan Hill, Matthew McGloin, who ended up being better under O'Brien for sure. Total turnaround. We kept enough guys, but we did lose some key guys. And I think if we didn't lose as many guys as we did, we went 8-4 that year. It's like, and I interviewed Stephon Morris for a paper, and I said, I think if a lot of you guys stayed, like he stayed, Stephon did, but I said if a lot of you guys had stayed, I think we would have been better. I mean, 8-4 with third string guys, mainly second and third string guys. Also, Hartline. Yeah. Yep. Joe Brady, yes, he is. M. McGloin. Yeah. So we'll see how it plays out, guys, but just being around Franklin personally, he just had a weird vibe, a weird energy. So Virginia Tech, good luck. We wish you the best, and we will be watching you, and we will be fully entertained by whatever happens there, because we know nothing truly good or important will ever happen, and that sucks for you guys, but you guys hired him. So best of luck. Thank you guys for commenting. Thank you guys for coming on. I really appreciate it. Support the channel if you can. But Kevin, it was good to see you back. Burnout. Phenomenal Brew. Don't think I've seen you, but please like, share, subscribe. Support the channel. Baba Booey. Cade Connors, you're a good one. Dave. Omer. Cade, you could tell Irish Prestige in the Notre Dame chats that I said I want them to beat Virginia Tech and James Franklin. See what they say. Ant, it's good to see you too. Stupid Stuff. You change your name. You're still Stupid Stuff. Thanks again, guys. Have a good night, and we will see you tomorrow night for pregame, big game, Nebraska.